I now have the honor of introducing our next graduating senior, Jan. Would you please join me on the stage? I've always seen nobility in Jan from the first moment I met him, and for any of you who have had the opportunity, I think he would say the same. He holds himself with a dignity and a regality that makes me think he was a prince or a king very recently, and perhaps once again in the future. Nobility is a trait that is difficult to learn. Usually it's inherent to the person, but what you do with it is what counts, and that's why I want to award nobility of heart in Jan. Jan, to me, is a deep soul, and it's not because of the things that he knows, and he knows a lot, but it's because of what he has learned to feel. Intellect on its own is powerful, but it has a limit. But when you add the feeling of the heart to it, it is unvanquishable. This is why I know that Jan is going to have a successful life, both outwardly and inwardly, in anything he tries to do. He has a love of philosophy in the abstract, but that has grown to become a love for the ability of thoughts and ideas to uplift, to help people. It's no longer, this is a cool idea. It's, this is a cool idea that can help a lot of people. That can help people reach their next step, that can help people be happy. Jan is going to have, excuse me, Jan has a lot to teach others through this, because in a world that is dominated by intellect, most of us, or most of them, I should say, have forgotten the power of the heart. And I think when he adds that depth of feeling, of intuition to the world, he's going to be able to do great things. I think Jan is going to be a soldier for Dwapara Yuga, for the next wave of consciousness, in the fight against Kali Yuga. I look forward to following him under that banner. So Jan, for nobility of heart, and for 1,000 other things, and for your friendship, I thank you.
I think it would be best to start off with giving thanks, because gratitude is always the beginning. Firstly, I want to thank my two brothers, Cameron and Brian, both of which have been always fair and good to me, and I owe it to them that I could feel at home here. None have expanded my views more than Cameron, and none have taught me better brotherhood than Brian. I would like to thank Greg and Karen. They were pretty much our first contact around here. They helped us find the house that we now call home. And they were always making sure we're doing well. Always offering me work to be able to pay for my tuition. But most importantly, always treating me as a part of their family, as if I was their son. And I hold nothing but love for my two amazing American parents. I couldn't leave out my senior class. And all the other kids from the school, especially the young ones who have taught me much I have forgotten since I grew up. And finally, I would like to thank my parents. My father, I thank you for being the iron fist of discipline and courage that any man who is to be successful needs. I thank you, my mother, for wrapping this iron fist in your tenderness, and for not losing faith in me most of the time. This has been such a big and significant chapter of my life. Even now, it's hard to realize that I'm writing its last words. And I was thinking about leaving for weeks, and now it's finally here. And I was very scared at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this was such a big thing, such a huge change of the way I perceive the world around me and the way I live, that this will just not go away. And it doesn't matter how far I am from here, distance will always be the least of issues. It will be hard not to be influenced by inferior thinking and inferior principles, but it's a challenge, and I think it is about time I took this challenge on. It is time to become a missionary, and not in the religious, persuading kind of way, but a missionary of kindness, a missionary of thought, and a missionary of illumination. It is quite clear to me that this was the turning point of my consciousness, and I'm aware of its power not to change just my life, but all those involved. And as I embark on this long journey back home to Europe, to Czech, however full of uncharted territories it may be, I will always remember what I learned here. And that learning itself is a lifelong occupation, and it doesn't really end with getting a piece of paper. But one thing that can end it is fear. Because fear is the mind killer. When sailing, it is not the sail, not the rudder, nor the pole that discovers new lands. It is the sailor's courage. Thank you.